robust urban garlic flavor.
Robust content. That's right. It is robust.
So here he is, DSP, saying that this is the last time he will address the Kino Casino incident whatsoever. Of course, we all know, within the next week he will bring it up again and again and again. Keep feeding the trolls, Philip. And to give you a bit of context, he ended his Truck Sims stream by going on a tirade about how he was above the drama and he didn't need it and he was better off than ever, even though we're kind of doubtful that is the case. So here's Phil on his daily wrap to tell you about what's going on.
It was a great streaming day, although yet another hot one. I still have several hot days ahead of me this week, but hopefully this week is the end of it. Let's talk about how today went, shall we? All right, so today we opted for no podcast. As you know, we've been alternating.
By we, Phil means himself.
One day a podcast, one day no podcast. This allows for me to have more content and to have more advancement in the games that I'm playing. Notably, every day I don't do a podcast, I usually play more Silksong. Why? Because Silksong's long as
Yeah, he's not doing podcasts where the past year he's been making money more on the podcast than on the gameplay for some streams. This really feels like an Only Iced Coffee suggestion. Hey Phil, I want you to play Silksong. I will support it.
We're like 33 parts in, but some parts are an hour and a half long. So in reality, the playthrough's almost 40 hours long at this point. And we're not even done with Act 2. And there is a third, not really secret act, but it really is the real end of the game. A lot of content creators ended at Act 2 and never played Act 3. I plan to play Act 3. I like the game enough that I want to actually complete the real game.
Yeah, as long as Only Iced Coffee is willing to open up his wallet for this game, Phil will continue to play it.
So, today was great. Today, I'm trying to remember exactly what we did. We did a lot today. Like, seriously. Let me see, actually. Hold on, because it's actually getting confusing with as much content as I'm putting out on this game. It's starting to make me forget what I do in the game. So, that's right. The very first part of the stream, I said, let's go and get an upgrade. So we did. We went back to the Weaver area that we had found earlier in the game, and we received an upgrade where we can equip another item permanently, no matter what build we were using. I was like, oh, that's really cool. Then we went back to the Citadel, and we completed the second of 3 song areas.
Yeah, you see, the gameplay is so interesting that DSP has to summarize it in his daily wrap so you won't see it later.
And that was cool. It was a huge platforming challenge that was very difficult, but we got it done and got the second song. Should we go to the one optional area that really we hadn't done yet? I guess there's 2 we haven't done yet, and one of which, or 2 of which I haven't found, I should say, but one of which I've been told about the entire time. Everyone's saying bile water. That bile water is past the Sinner's Road, and bile water is so difficult, and everyone says it's one of the hardest parts of the game. It's like Blight Town in Dark Souls, and so I did it, okay? And it was challenging, I'm not gonna lie. Tons of platforming, this stupid maggot infestation mechanic where if you fall into this maggot water, basically you cannot heal. You need to get enough silk to heal so that you can get it off of you. Then you have to earn enough silk to heal again. It's a nightmare, okay? Truth is, I think I did better at it than people expected. It wasn't that bad.
Okay, cool, Phil. Congratulations. I'm so happy for you that you did better than you thought you would. Or that you said you did better than you thought you would.
And we got to the end, and we ended at the boss, and I took a few shots at the boss, but we didn't really have enough time to finish him. I think I got close. Someone was like, yeah, dude, you were probably like just a couple hits away from beating him one time. What are you going to do? But overall, it was a great stream, great progress. Next time around, we are in prime position to beat this boss. Like, we're definitely going to do it pretty quick next time when we start playing. I don't know what you get for beating bile water. I have no idea what the reward is.
The only reward Phil really cares about is how much Only Iced Coffee will pay him to continue to play this game.
One optional area left, but I don't know how to get to it. If people know how to get to it, I'm sure they're going to tell me. But it's great. We had a great time. Overall, I always enjoy playing Silksong. We hit the support goal and exceeded it. This has been a pattern with Silksong. Not only do we hit the goal, we tend to exceed it. We don't usually do 2 goals, but we do pretty darn good. So that was excellent.
Yep, that's what happens when Only Iced Coffee supports the stream. You will hit the goal, but you may not hit the second goal.
Only problem was the heat. Once again, full sun outside. Even though it's supposed to be fall and we're supposed to have clouds and rain, full sun outside. And I was overheated, 90 degrees in the office. What are you going to do, right? I'm doing my best, and toughed through it, and I'll continue to do that. It's supposed to be that like that all week until Friday. Friday, we're finally supposed to get rain and cooler temps, and then next week, it's supposed to be only 50 degrees outside. So even if we have sun, it may actually be cool enough that it's not a big deal. So that's why I continue to wear t-shirts. No, I'm not trying to show off my arms, I swear, although people now are like, Phil, you can just flex every stream. You're trying to show off your new arms because you're working out now. That's what it is. We all know it. No, not really. Like maybe the first day, but I don't really care about it now at this point. I'd like to just relax, but I can't really because it's so hot in here. But we're getting to it. Okay, it seems like we will be able to relax, hopefully, starting Friday. So we have to get there, okay? 3 more days to tough through.
Okay, LARPer, enjoy the hot stream. Like, we know if this was a huge issue for him, he would have just gotten a fan from somewhere. He would have ordered it off of Amazon. Like, why he keeps talking about this, I have no idea. Just to stir pity. Like, how stupid can you be? He has the means to get stuff immediately. So it's like, why is he not fixing his AC if it's even broken in the first place?
Tonight's stream, the late stream, was American Truck Simulator. And chill vibes again. Lots of fun conversation to be had. We did another ultra long job where basically what I did was drove from...
Wow, Phil, you drove from point A to point B. Congratulations. Nobody wants to hear about this. They'll just watch it if they want to see it, Phil.
Colorado, all the way north and then to the west to go to Idaho. So this was 4 different states we went through. This was actually, again, the longest job we've ever done before. Had a huge payout, but had some problems, hit a few cars.
You would think that if it was a truck simulator that you would fail the mission if you couldn't avoid other cars or vehicles. Like the delivery is just kind of shot at that point.
My truck actually became so damaged, it started to have malfunctions, and I can't even recall in the, 5-6 months I played this game now, I don't recall ever having that before. So definitely I wrecked the car pretty bad, and by the end of the night, we actually had to repair it. Some fun discussions, all over the place with the discussions as usual.
Yeah, Phil's weekly therapy session went very well. He talked about Low Tier God, he talked about his BMW, he talked about Kino Casino. All good stuff for Phil not really to talk about, but he'll talk about it anyway, and it will be used as troll bait.
And just in general, a good time. We were nearing the end of the stream, and we were around $100 of support with only like 10-15 minutes to go. And I was like, well, guys, just so you know, again, we've talked about this. American Truck Sim is a great weekly chill stream. I really enjoy doing it. We talk a lot when we do it. It's more about me chilling with you than really the gameplay. But the game has lasted 6 months. We're now in the busiest gaming season of the year, right? All these new releases are hitting nonstop.
You see, let me be more succinct for him. It's shut up and give me $150 or I will not play this game. That's all it is. No excuses. Just shut up and give me money.
If people don't want this in the rotation anymore, I'm okay with that. We have more than enough that we can be doing on late streams. We could pick up more games. I've been skipping games. It's all good. And then last minute, we hit the goal. So it continues. And what's also funny is viewer Buckwell had purchased some DLCs. I guess there was Halloween skins in the game. I didn't even know they existed. And he bought them and sent them to me, but he sent them to me between the streams. So I didn't know they existed. So I didn't install them or anything. So we didn't get to use them today, but because we hit the goal, next week we're going to play this again, and we will actually, first thing, get these skins going and see if we can get some Halloween stuff on the truck for the rest of the month. That would be pretty cool. We do another 2-3 streams of Truck Sim, and we have like Halloween skins and stuff on the truck. That'd be pretty cool. So overall, great night, just chill night, fun night, great vibes, all right? And I'll just say this. All right. Well, first, let me tell you what's tomorrow's schedule, and then I'll end the daily wrap with the same sentiment that I ended tonight's video with.
Yep, here comes the 220 rant incoming to a station near you.
That means we are officially dropping Hades 2. Now, for those of you who like Hades 2, I apologize. However, you got to understand, I have to be doing stuff on stream that people will show up, engage, and support with. The first stream of Hades 2, that happened. The second stream, it absolutely did not. Okay? And I question, what happened? Why are people not here? Why are people not even talking about the game? Kick chat died for 4 minutes. That never happens. Kick chat is always blah, 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 blabbing. Kick chat died for 4 minutes. So that means something, and it ain't good, right? It means something about the game that people are just not digging this game for whatever reason. And when stuff like that happens, I have to adjust to it, right? So I gave time. I said, hey, we'll take until Tuesday to figure out, do people want Hades 2? No one has really shown up and made a case for the game. No one has shown up and said, hey, I'd like to support the game. Nothing. So I think Hades 2, just like I suspected, this is why I didn't play it to begin with, it doesn't have a resonance with my audience. It doesn't. People don't see me as a PC gamer. Hades 2 is a PC exclusive game right now. So people don't really care. They don't come out to see it. They don't really give a right? So I don't know what else to say. It is what it is. I'm sorry about Hades 2.
Yeah, so the differences between the two streams is that the first stream, a whale gave an anonymous $100 tip, and the second stream, it didn't happen. So take that as you will.
Now, the last thing I'll say to end this I almost said DSP tries it, this daily wrap. I ended American Truck Sim saying it, but I want to say it to everyone on demand as well. So, I thought Friday night was supposed to be the end for me, right? I thought that was it. I thought I was done.
So on Friday, the Kino Casino unleashed a hour-long video of Phil parody called The Dented Zone. And apparently Phil pretended that he was going to get exposed and things like that, but the reality is he's so insulated that who really cares? He went on a whole tirade about it on his Truck Sim stream. I haven't got to that yet because I'm a little under the weather, but it is just so delusional and hilarious.
You know, people making an hour-long video about me, a negative one. Oh, no. Wait, is someone making a negative documentary about me right now? Oh, no. Did someone make a mean tweet in mean spirit about me? Oh, no.
The last one, Phil will ban you from accessing his account, but with the other ones, he can't really do that.
How will I ever recover from this? Get it? You see what I'm saying? It doesn't affect me at all. None of this nonsense on the internet. It's all white noise. It doesn't affect me at all. I'm immune to it. I'm bulletproof.
Yeah, he's so immune to it. This is the third day in a row of his streams that he's brought it up, and he's probably brought it up the other 2 days in between this daily wrap and the release of this video. The fact that he keeps talking about it shows you how it got under his skin.
Get it? I've been here for 17 years. No one can say or do anything about me that's going to cancel me because I don't do anything that's cancelable. All right? I'm not some horrendous person whose horrible crimes will be exposed and I'll go to jail. That's never going to happen because I don't do anything wrong. All I do is sit here and entertain an audience and play games, and people found me an easy target to try to say make fun of me and say horrible things. The things that people say about me aren't even true anymore.
The main issue is Phil is a scammer. He lied to his fans about playing mobile games. He pretended that he needed money for groceries when he was spending a sizable chunk of the income that he was getting from his live streams on gacha mobile games. And he sees no issue with doing that. Phil, you can't beg and then choose. If you are begging for stuff to pay your bills and to pay your groceries, the money should go to that, not to superfluous stuff. Because that means you don't really need that excessive amount of money after all.
All right, I just want to make that clear. That these memes, the nonsense people say, it's not even true. It's things they make up, detractor memes and nonsense, and they roll with it.
Yeah, so here's a clip of Phil that I completely made up. I took it out of my imagination, and somehow I got the exact image to show up on your computer screen right now. I don't know how I was able to do that. I guess I just have magical powers. So here's Phil admitting to scamming his audience.
When the game launched, I didn't think anyone was going to ever give a about my mobile game spending. I had already played games such as Dragon Ball Z Dokkan Battle, Supercard, WWE Supercard, and others as well. And, for me, it was who cares? Who would ever give? I had already publicly posted and talked about playing those games, spending money on them, right? So I never in my wildest dreams thought that it would ever blow up in the way that it did, okay? Fair enough. So, what ended up happening was, the game came out, 2017? And I barely played it that hardcore. The first year or so, I would say. It wasn't until the second year where the game actually got, redesigned to be more serious of a game. And so then it kind of warranted more time, more spending, etc. Well, I played it for what? It came out in 2017. So I would say I played it for 2.5 years. And I think about year 1 or 2, a year in, 2 years in, it got, to the point where everyone wanted to form guilds and factions because big events were being based in the game around that. So that's when I joined my first faction. And I was, playing along with the faction. At the time, I was low. I wasn't, I didn't have a good account or anything. They were teaching me along the way on how to play the game and like that. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, you get the idea. Phil was crying poor, and yet he was spending hundreds of thousands of dollars on a gotcha mobile game. Yeah, his fans are really stupid for falling for this nonsense.
And it doesn't affect me in the least. Why? Because I don't care about it. I'm not going to watch it or entertain it. And I'm still here to make positive content every single day. So, guess what? Here we are today, successful day, crushing all my goals. There'll be more of that this week.
Yeah, except he didn't do that on Sunday, and it's not like he's getting double goals, so he's not swimming in the money. He's just doing his baseline.
Doesn't matter what people say or do, I'll continue to be successful. All right, and one final thing. When people say, but Phil, I don't get it. You say that you robbed the Kino Casino. What did you rob from them exactly? Because they're making tons of money, right? They were making tons of money beforehand.
Yeah, you see he owned them because he wouldn't go to Hulk Hogan's bar with them or something. I don't know. Let's roll the clip so Phil can explain to all of us how he owned the casino.
At the end, you had one chip left. And I said, this is your chip. I'm going to hold on to it. And I had it on my screen back here. And everything, you know, was around this chip in the casino. And you even called it out in your content. And you said, Phil, you fool. They're not your friends, but you have their memes in your content and all of that. I'm well aware of all that stuff that you said, okay?
Which was true from the beginning. Everyone saw that coming from a mile away. You were a content mill for them.
So, okay.
As you've seen.
Fair enough. Now, I bring this up for a reason, all right? And we're going to explain it in just a moment. But I have one other question for you before I actually show you the briefcase. Okay? And the question is this.
Okay.
Are you familiar with the king snake? The animal?
Nope.
You're not?
Nope.
The king snake is a creature, a snake, that lures other snakes into its den. Dangerous snakes. Snakes that are known to already be predators. Rattlesnakes and others. The king snake uses this trick in order to make those creatures feel safe. And then the king snake surprises those creatures from behind and swallows them whole. The king snake
Are you swallowing
eats
me, Phil?
Oh, hold on. The king snake eats other predators whole after laying a trap. Okay?
Okay.
Ladies and gentlemen, this is the briefcase. This is Andy and Ashton's briefcase. Because, ladies and gentlemen, today on this podcast,
What is up, everyone? Hello, hello, and welcome. Oh, the camera's on. The camera's been on the whole time, huh? I don't even know. Hello.
nothing has changed for them at all since my involvement with them. I just became another target, and the truth is, I was going to be their target anyway. They were already starting to talk about me. So I already was going to be a target of theirs.
No, that was an absolute lie. They probably would have moved on from you very quickly because you were only part of the Review Tech USA story. You were a little part of that because Rich live streams you constantly and reacts to you because you're so easy to farm. You reached out to them and you started this whole friend quest arc, and that got you in trouble because they realized, hey, we can control Phil. We can manipulate Phil. We can get Phil to do stupid things. We can get Phil to destroy himself. And they did.
Right? They already were going to make the content they're making right now. Nothing has changed for them. But what changed for me? Well, let's see.
Phil lost a significant chunk of his audience when he admitted to scamming them by playing mobile games and spending lavishly on them while begging for basic necessities. Phil banned Derek, who was his best friend, essentially, and Phil upgraded his setup because the casino forced him to, and he now includes super chats towards his goal, so he's not getting a lot of tips anymore, he's just getting super chats, which YouTube takes a 30% cut from, so it appears like the Kino Casino did negative things to Phil's business model.
Something looks slightly different right now than it did a year ago. Right? You know, how about this, this. Should I keep going?
Yeah, so Phil finally made some cosmetic changes after dragging his feet for like a decade, and now he wants to be congratulated for it. No, Phil, that's not how it works. You should have had those years ago with the amount of money you were pulling in. And it doesn't really improve the quality of the experience unless you like staring at Phil's face, which I don't.
This. Hold on. Oh, I can't show you. Sorry, I can't lift my PCs right now. Okay? I can keep going. All right? How about the fact that people support me every single stream and I'm hitting my goals almost every stream?
Yeah, Phil, but before the Kino arc, you were doing that too. So what's the big difference here? Not much.
When it used to be few and far between, right? How about the fact that I can afford any game whenever I want? All right? People are seeing me in a positive light. Doesn't matter if views on YouTube reflect that. People come to my streams, engage, and support in positive ways, and I crush my goals. Almost every single day.
Yeah, because Phil's a couple of whales that he constantly bleeds dry. He wants us to think that this resurgence that he thought that he had the Kino arc was legit. He's still pretending he had a resurgence. He's just doing it in a different way.
Almost every single stream. That was not happening before Kino Casino. What happened was, getting exposure to a new group of people, people's eyes opened.
Phil, all the people that gave you money during the Kino arc stopped when Kino Casino told them, okay, you can stop. The only person who continued was Iron Den Sakai. It's still only Ice Coffee and your whales controlling the situation, keeping you afloat. You're not getting thousands of new viewers, Phil. The only people getting thousands of new viewers are me, from covering your nonsensical nonsense.
All right, they did. And I said, wait a minute. Phil isn't the devil. That's just his detractors making up.
I, for one, have never called Phil the devil. He's definitely not intelligent or savvy enough or sneaky enough to be that. I know H-Bomb puts the horns on him in the filters, which I won't use, but it's like, yeah, no, I've never called Phil the devil.
And so now people see that, oh, and they come to the streams, they're like, oh, this is good.
I guess Phil really thinks those messages that Only Ice Coffee sends them from sock accounts are real. Except guess what? Those people never come back, Phil, so you were just completely out of your mind.
I did rob the casino. Absolutely. I robbed them of their ability to try to make me their... because I tapped out of their... before we got to that level.
Yeah, so PPP was only Phil's quote-unquote boss for like 7 months, if you know what I mean. Yeah, Phil, PPP sold you out to everybody on the internet. It doesn't matter how much money they had. If they had 50 cents, he would be like, okay, you get 15 minutes.
But in the meantime, I got my confidence back. I got my dignity back. I got momentum back. I got positivity back.
Phil, you went right back down to level 1 with less of an audience than you had before the casino arc.
And I made a lot of money. And yeah, it was short-lived, that huge increase in money. But guess what? That's the boost I needed to get to the level I am today.
Yeah, he boosted all the way back up to level 1. Congratulations, Phil.
I used them exactly how I needed to. I got everything I wanted out of it. These guys are not squeaky clean. These guys have burned every bridge. They don't have friends. They can't have friends.
Yet you were still absolutely dying to work with them, though.
Oh, not dying to work with them. They were a means for me to finally get out of the position that I was in, being the whipping boy of the internet. And that was the intention from day one. Everything that I laid out, every conversation I had with them, every late night session I had with them when I should have been asleep, every time I was on their streams kissing their butt, throwing them super memberships or whatever, was all part of this. And they think they have something on me. They're insane. How they didn't know.
They do.
How they didn't know that everything I was saying was fake, I don't know. Because, I mean, I'll give you some examples here. I said, my wife was sick and she had found God. And now because of that, I can't do this idea that you came up with. And they bought it. And I said, oh, my rabbit is sick, so I can't do the show today. My mom is sick, so I have to fly. I keep saying sick, like every excuse was someone's sick. Yet they bought it every time. Every time.
Or you were just nervous to go do it, so you canceled on it.
But the point I'm making here is I basically manipulated them as much as I could to make them do what I wanted. I got what I wanted. And then when I knew they were going to eventually turn on me, because we all knew that from the get-go, right? We knew they were going to turn.
That's kind of just gross too, Phil. You would say that your family members were sick to get out of doing things with them?
Oh,
to
it's
get
not
a one up on them?
No. It's not to get out of doing things with them. It's to basically have a way to make them believe that everything I'm saying is true. Because no one is going to think that someone's going to just pull that out of their... But to beat a snake, you have to be the better snake, Rich. It's the only way to do it. You have to make them believe the lies. You have to make them believe the lies. You have to make them believe the lies. I got out, and it doesn't matter what they say or do. I'm good. I robbed those, and there's nothing they can do about it. That's why 7 months later, they're still making videos about me. Meanwhile, I don't give two about them. I'm having a great time with my life, and I will continue to do so. An awesome and positive time that doesn't harm anyone. That is the key to my content and success. 17 years, no one got hurt. We're all having a good time, enjoying games and each other's company. Thanks for that.
Yep, Rambo, Howard, Panda Lee, Cat, they never got hurt whatsoever. Alright, Phil, whatever helps you sleep at night. Yeah, so this is Phil's final response to the Kino Casino situation, and as we know with Phil, final is never final. He will find ways to use any situation to his advantage, even if the reality is almost never coinciding with what he's saying. Alright, everybody, thank you for watching this episode of 220 Lifestyle, and I will see you all next time. This is Robust turning off the station.
Jeff did a $5 tip. He says, I want to hear you say robust bourbon garlic flavor, like how you said robust urban garlic flavor. I never said robust urban garlic flavor. I said bourbon, not urban. How dare you? How dare you insinuate that I would say the word urban? I'm white. I can't say urban. It's offensive. You understand? That's how it works. Okay. All right, we're now up to $325 to support.